architecture training actually helped me to do a good perspective, but then that is just a skill. With that skill, it becomes a tool to inspire I myself when I do the painting. It will inspire me and it changed my architecture.
Hi everyone, my name is Chiang and welcome to Design Malaysia. We have got a very special guest today. He is an Iron Man, he is an architect and also an artist. His name is May, he is the principal architect for ALM Architects.
So I think as an architect, we should have a place that we have more inspirations of what we observe and record it down in a very intuitive type of sketching. This actually all drive me to kickstart the sketch. Once you kickstart, I start to discover another world. First of all, it gives me a long period standing in front of a building, then observe every single detail, recording it in my own flair. That process of interpretation actually enrich my architectural language and also enhance my observations, and all these are actually form a so-called a library. Sketching to me is not only a tool, but it's actually something for me to record my experience. We are not only interpret the scene, but we also interpret our feeling at that moment. Sometimes I feel sad, sometimes I feel tired in the journey. So if I go back to the same scene, paint the same scene again, the end result won't be the same because my feeling will be different. And even though I sit down with my friends and what he paint beside me, even though we are looking at the same scene, are totally different because we have different DNA and different interpretations of a painting. Traveling is one of my favorite time for sketch. This is one of the example of my last trip to Italy. None of this touch up after I come back from a trip. And some even done with surprise. Like for example, this is the one I did it early in the morning with a little bit of drizzling. So you can see some of the painting here are smeared by the water in Italy. This is actually contributed by a bird. So I decided...
Italian birds.
Yeah, Italian bird. So I decided not to clean it up because all of this is part of my memory. So that's why I will say sketching is part of the recording, and whatever happened on the painting, whether it's perfect or it's mistake or whatever, it reflects something very real as what happened when I was standing there. All these are the material for my sketching. Of course, paper, fountain pen, color with a simple brush and a cloth for drying. That's it. So we always keep ourselves very simple and easy so that we can travel with very light. So I always like to have a A4 size where I can easily keep it in my bag. Because sometimes when I travel, I'm not all the time travel with sketches. Most of the time I travel with families, travel with friends that they are not sketches, so they won't have time to wait for me. So I may have only, sometimes I may have only 20 minutes. For example, I sketch this while I'm waiting for others to come together. So this is about 20-minute sketch. This is the Vatican City. What I do is that we have a long queue to go into the museum. It takes me about half an hour to queue. So what I did is that I carry this and I draw during the queue. That's why we have to carry it very light, and we have to make sure that we can do it even though with one hand, even though we are standing and walking. So I can do it in walking, when I walk, when I run, when I talk to people. Okay. So everything is within my control. Okay. If you want to carry this, I just carry like this, then I can draw like this. I myself have the experience of sketching in the market. So the good thing is sketching in the market is in a way that you are doing interview with them, because people will sit down and talk to you. And when I'm sketching their life, we can have a lot of observations that people cannot tell us through speaking. For example, it's amazed to know that all those architect behind is not architect, it's the end user by itself. And they just do it by try and error, like the way that how they put the umbrella in the market and how they use the space. The morning one session, afternoon one session, what time they come and take over the space, and how are they going to design their store, and how are they going to interact with their customers. And we won't be able to learn this by directly interview them, but I can learn it by sit down there, observe them in 1 hour. But if you sit down and observe them in 1 hour, they will think that, hey, well, they may come from income tax department or what. So they will be a bit protective. So when they sit down and do a sketching, then they sit beside me and just starting talking, and I make friends with them. So that is how we interact with community, and I feel proud to become part of them through sketching.
Thanks for sharing your experience and story with us, May. If you like what you see today, please feel free to like, share and subscribe to the channel. We cover art, architecture, photography and filmmaking in Malaysia, and we would like to have you on board. Until then, see you in the next one.